Morning, guys. Well, it's morning for me. Um, Welcome to my YouTube channel concerning not smoking weed or stop smoking weed, or a motivational platform to help others, young people like myself, to you know branch off from smoking weed and to see what potential they have to offer, or what potential you could be able to get after you quit smoking weed, right? It's 15 days so far for me. It has been a great experience so far. A lot of things has happened in my life from since. And it's so crazy how things change so fast. And that's because I made the effort to do certain things. So my life is slowly building and changing as I keep going on my journey. Right? But I've written down some things here to talk about today because it's something that my friend and I we was discussing, and I felt like it would have been a good video for people that maybe not looking at it like that. So it's about smoking weed puts you on a different path in life. The subtopics are downfalls with relationships when smoking weed. Number two, weed open doors for demons or spirits, unclean spirits to enter into your life. Number three, you have low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. And number four, weed is a gateway drug to make you try hard drugs. Now, and we're gonna talk about number one. So number one, downfall with relationships and smoking weed. So before I started to smoke, relationships in my life was something that I always had to work on, right? Because I'm not really a talkative person. I'm always more of the quiet person. You know what I mean? So I don't really express a lot to anybody. You know what I mean? But it was way better when I was sober, because even though I still needed to reach out to my mother and to be by her side, checking up on her, listening to her hardships, spending quality time, etc. We both would have worked on things together that would have be fully dedicated to make our quality of life better. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't smoking, I was more focused on making sure that she is okay, going to work, making sure that whatever I do would benefit my mother also. You know what I mean? Because it's my mother is important to me. She is the biggest support other than God, the biggest support in my life. You know what I mean? So I did want it to make our quality of life better. And when I started to smoke, the relationship became very destructive. Very destructive, because I started not to care at all about anything. So what I just told you a little while, making quality of life better, I didn't care about that anymore because I was busy going down the road. All I wanted to do is smoke some weed, kick back until the night, sleep, and then repeat the same thing again. I would actually steal money. I would actually steal my mother's hard working money just to go and spend it to get weed, not even to get food, to get weed. That's how much of an addiction smoking was for me, right? Um, I never sit down to listen to my mother's like deep conversations, like really my mother venting and giving her advice as to how to deal with certain situations. You know what I mean? Because I was busy smoking. It felt like I was wasting time doing that, sitting down, being with my mother, spending quality time with her instead of, okay, I just want to go and just smoke a joint. You know what I mean? Just go and get a 50 piece, 100 piece, something big, a lot of weed, smoke weed until it's all over. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Smoking weed destroys my relationship with people that are not on that part of life. My mother is not on that part of life. So it kind of was destroying it was destroying our relationship. But as they say, a mother's love is greater than anybody else's love in the world. You know what I mean? So she never gave up on me. She never gave up on me. She still saw that there was a time. She still prayed for me. She still fed me. She still looked out for me. You know what I mean? She still 100% was there for me. And that's something that really just baffles me as to how I treated my mother in that period of time, and how much of a damage it was for me to do that to her and leave everything on her. And she never gives up on me. And thank God that I have somebody like that, because if it was somebody else, I would have already been on my face. You know what I mean? So smoking weed destroys your relationships with people that are not on the path that you chose. You know what I mean? The next example would be, back in 2016, I met a girl that I expected to really love and appreciate so much in the upcoming years. You know what I mean? Like, we had plans of really being together after school, because she was at the next school, I was at one school. And we were so connected to the point where I could have molded, or I could have be the leader, and I could have took over and guide us out in a certain way, right? And at that time of meeting her, right, I never was smoking weed. I never touched a single joint in my life. So everything was authentic, was raw. Everything came out wonderful in terms of me being myself and she accepting who I really was. You know what I mean? I was by her side, and as we were going through school, we had plans, as I told you guys. Then 2019 came. I started to smoke, and the effort that I put in over those years to really stay with this person dropped tremendously, to the point where she started to go through a situation where she lost a loved one. And when she needed me the most, that's the time when I actually just started to smoke weed. Started to enjoy it. This first high is crazy. Started to go smoke weed in Traptopolis every single day. You know what I mean? And just ghosted her. Just ghosted her completely. You know what I mean? And so when she needed me the most, I was starting on a new path. When she needed me the most. So she was looking for my love, company, support, and everything that we, were together. And we were actually together at that time, a period time in life. I was with her, and everything was supposed to be that when we finished school, that we would have just really get together and build from there on out. But I kind of ghosted her. I prioritized smoking weed over her. And you know what happened? She decided, she just had to find somebody else that she could have give her that kind of comfort. But at the same time, those people kind of changed her, mold a different type of person. Meanwhile, I'm over there wasting time smoking weed, forgetting that I actually have people that, like, relationships that I need to be focused on. And reflecting on my mistake, I went on a path that she was not on. So I lost out on a woman that I could have made a wife. You know what I mean? And draw closer to God, to be honest. But this is what weed does. It destroys authentic relationships. So I'm not sure if I would ever get a next chance with that person. But even though that person is now on a different path and I'm on a next path, so it's hard to even ever say that would ever happen again. You know what I mean? So be careful. Be careful of smoking weed because it's gonna destroy the people that are destroy the relationships of the people that are not doing it. People that actually care for you and really respect you and love you for who you are. You're gonna lose out on these types of people. You know what I mean? So be careful. It destroys your relationships in life. Trust me. Right? So the second thing I'll talk about, it opens doors for demons to enter into your life. Right? There's a clear reason why people refer to weed as the devil's lettuce. You know what I mean? Because it opens a spiritual passage that allows all kinds of unclean and demonic spirits to enter into your life. For example, it lets into me the spirit of drug addiction. You know what I mean? Into my life. Every day, every night, every minute that I would run out, I would just have an addiction to want to smoke another, get another. Even when I don't have any money, nothing, I would do anything to get it. If it's stealing weed, if it's going to trust weed, all kind of things that didn't really make no sense. But because of that spirit of drug addiction, I was trapped into doing the routine and the habits and just going back and doing this even when I didn't want it for myself. So my subconscious always was telling me like why are you doing this? Why are you smoking? I couldn't answer that question because it was the demonic spirit, which is a spirit of drug addiction, that was taking over my life and causing me to do these things. And it was destroying my soul and my temple, which is my body and my soul. Now, how I know that's true is that I really wanted to stop smoking weed. I always wanted to eliminate it, but the spirit was too strong at the time. It just keep making me doing it and doing it and doing it, constantly relapsing. Sometimes I'll stop and then I'll go right back into it 5 months after, 6 months after, 3 months after. You know what I mean? So, and it eventually was trying to make me give up on life. That's a bad spirit right there, because a spirit of God won't make you try to take your life. You know what I mean? Think about that. Remember, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and rulers of darkness and unclean spirits and all types of things. It might not just be, it might be weed for me, but pornography and sex addiction for you, and spirit of stealing, spirit of killing. It can be all of these types of things. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of hard to do it by yourself in these situations. That's why you have to really ask God. You have to call upon Jesus Christ, ask God to help you to just overcome these spirits. And that's what I did. So that's why I could just make a video now talking about it like this, because even though it's 15 days, I'm still holding on to God. So basically, I don't feel like it's going to be a tough thing to overcome anymore. Of course, urges would be there, but I try myself to distance from the places that I used to do it. I try to distance the music that I listened to when I was doing it, and all of these little things that I was partaking with when I was doing it. So it caused my mind not to even think about that anymore. You know what I mean? And plus, it almost destroyed me. So that's a big staple as to why it's gonna be that spirit has to really be A1, straight one to get me back into it. You know what I mean? And it's not gonna happen in the name of Jesus Christ. Let's get that off the bat. You know what I mean? Weed also makes me also wants to watch porn, which is another demon. It's another spirit that's gonna try to take your temple down. You know what I mean? Every night, like I have a routine. I'm not gonna lie. I have a routine. Smoke in the morning, smoke in the afternoon, smoke in the night. And it's not just one joint, it's many joints between these period of time. And when I reach to the night period, I would smoke some weed, smoke a lot of weed, and after that, I'll just go log on to a porn website and just, watch porn, defile my body, and just go to sleep. You know what I mean? For absolutely no reason. Sometimes I'm not even urging for sex or anything like that. But smoking weed, really, it puts you in a mindset and changes your mindset to just, okay, let me just go and watch some porn. You know what I mean? Even when I didn't even want it to. I didn't even want it to, fam. So, it left sexual demons. Weed let sexual demons inside of my temple now to destroy me in another aspect too. You know what I mean? So it's the weed demons, the sexual demons, and boss, it's like, I'm not saying people that don't smoke don't do these things too. We're all sinners. But smoking weed allows demons to enter into your life. Smoking weed opens a door for other spirits to walk in, take over, destroy you, and do not care. So you have to just think about that and try not to make these things overpower you. Alright? And you need God. You know what I mean? You need God. And I need a therapist. You know, I'm not gonna sit here thinking that because God is with me, everything is all good. I need a therapist, which I'm gonna be working on getting a therapist and speaking to somebody that is trained and their profession is about mental illness. Because I'm not saying I'm crazy. I'm not, but depression comes in and out. These things needs to be controlled. And how they gonna get controlled, you have to consult somebody that is a professional in that field. So that's the next thing that you should try. If you're struggling in anything, really, you could get a therapist and just sit down and talk to the therapist. It's something that I'm planning to go to do. Number 3 is low self-esteem. So since I started to smoking weed, my self-esteem has gone through the floor. You know what I mean? When I was my true self, I really believed in my dreams. I love music. I love making music. But I just didn't want to make hip-hop music because it's a way of just being worldly. I didn't want to be a part of the killing people, bitches, this and that. I wanted to be different. And thanks to God, I found a way how to. So I make gospel rap now. No, I never was part of the crowd. Never wanted to be a part of the crowd. And you might not see it, but high key, weed stops you from building your self-esteem and overall makes you less ambitious in life. To be honest, it makes you less ambitious in life. Because all you just want to do is, right, when you're smoking weed, you get high. Whatever high that is, you get high. The high they make you lazy. You kick back. Hours pass. You do nothing. When you could actually do something to make your life one step better. Build your ambition. Right? And when I was smoking, I was so low to the point of not wanting to work. As me done tell I already, Nelson's Dockyard, end up and just abandon my job because me smoke weed. Me do so much. I smoke weed every day, and just like, just kick back today and just go down the road, buy some weed and just, just kick back. Next day come, I'm gonna do the same thing, boy. Next day come, I'm gonna do the same thing, boy. And Me knowing subconsciously that I was doing something wrong, it put me in a downward spiral. So careful. You make you less ambition. Sometimes you feel like the weed would help you better in the work. Rest that to the side. Deal with all the stress and everything that you have to go, that work have to come with. Because it's better for you to go through work like that than to go work high and look like a fool. Because when you go work high, you get in a shell. You can't do nothing. You get in a shell. You get less. You get slow. Trust me. So careful. Careful. I know funny. You know, I me want to go trap tapillas and smoke weed morning until night. You know, kick back, smoke weed morning until night. And me thinking, me blind. Me blind. Me smoke so much weed that me blind. Me not cloud of smoke. Thinking that me good. Everything's safe. You know what I mean? Just a burn my weed and just go and do me do. But me just waste time. and and what happened is no. You know what I mean? People look at me like I'm crackhead but just never say nothing. People look at me like I'm crackhead but just never say nothing. And that's how you know people are real. Like in terms of how you gonna see a young man, you know what I mean, I go through certain things like that and you know really go to here and let you know boss, you know, smoking weed, you know you need for tap boss because you really only certain people really look upon me. Rest in peace to Nikki. But you know, certain people really look upon me and let me know boss, you know, smoking weed and not something that really beneficial in your life and you need to just move on from that thing. You know what I mean? But everybody else, nobody think the pushy man gonna let you know that either because you are when you investment, man, you spend hella cheese, all the money that you work for, you spend on you spend on the weed. You know what I mean? So the man just build up feel life and you just in the same boat. The same boat, the confusion, depression and everything in one. You check where me come from. People look for me like I'm crackhead, they check at that time in my life. And I'm not gonna lie, me look like I'm crackhead in that point in my life because low self-esteem, I just never care about myself at the time, King. It just never me care because me smoke so much weed that I think about that me want to do bars. When you offer the weed, you can realize certain some of yourself like, okay boy, and you realize, you know what I mean, I need to go work, I need to go and get some clothes for myself, I need to start eat right, I need to start exercise, you know, I need to start build myself. You start noticing a little someday, check. Remember, you know what I mean? I always think back on when me used to young. Me so happy, so fulfilled. You know what I mean? So ambitious in everything that me want to do. Me tell myself I'm gonna do and I'm gonna get done. You know what I mean? I'ma never me need weed. Me never even me think about weed. Me never care about weed. Me see people smoke weed. Me never me really interested because what? Me happy and fulfilled in myself. You check? Me remember the scripture, the exact scripture, but when God say, you know, He made humans perfect, which is so true. Like He make us perfect in terms of I don't need nothing, no enhancement for nothing. I don't need no steroids to build ourselves. I don't need no weed for make we open up our mind for make music. Me know who make that kind of weird mindset about weed make music better than something, but you know what I mean? Like we use so much inventions for like make our life better, but really and truly God make our perfect. You check, so you don't need to do that, boss. Trust me. You need to do that. The final sum that I want to talk about is weed is a gateway drug to make you try hard drugs. Right? Yes, for real. Weed make you think about trying different drugs. Because after you first smoke your first spliff, you get high in no drug, like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, crazy. You check because of the first time you do them. And then after that, after the first spliff, you check, you get to chase the first high. You first receive, you check. And and that's why smoking is like, boss, like crazy. Because it's just like if you chase destruction. You check, you chase destruction. Really and truly, you chase destruction, dog. And you never get back the first ID. You never get back the first ID. No, you smoke weed after that and you will feel high still, you check. But the type of high, the magnitude of high that I first received now, you try for kind of chase that. Say I have big spliff of weed and man's want to smoke the most weed in a day, and you check just want to do the most. You check maybe mix the weed with the liquor for get a kind of different kind of high, mix kind of high and that kind of subbing, and you check it just a waste of time and it just mess you up slowly. You check where me come from, and me tell the boss I like remember one time, right, me work and me left from my work for lunchtime and go on pharmacy because me go put then time they you go up on YouTube, you see all them rappers and all them man there, so them man have lean basically cough medicine mixed with soda and a styrofoam cup, and you check you like it get you one kind of numb feeling or something, I guess. So you mix that up and you smoke your weed and you're high, no joke, you're gone. Maybe you're gone to Netherlands or London, you're gone. You check where me come from? And I'm going to the pharmacy and the woman in the pharmacy watch me like, boss, he no look sick now. He no look sick now. Where he inside here for? And me just a look because in the cough medicine need 2 specific ingredients to check. So I'm just a look. I'm just like, boy, this ain't not the cough medicine. This ain't not rum. This ain't not rum. At the time, he's well into smoking weed. They checks with me too long for get the cough medicine for go home for try that experience. They know. They check where me come from. Gateway drug. I may tell you. They check cough medicine are meant for use as for abuse and use as a drug. It's supposed to just use for cough, control coughing. They check, but the cough medicine that me look for specifically are the one that they use for make lean. Right, so we end up and make a decision upon a cough medicine. And not the right one. And not the right one. I go home and try them. Nothing happened. But thank God that nothing happened. Because if I get the right one, more than they make this video for today. Me and tell you, I'm going to get addicted and I'm going to probably just lose my mind, to be honest. You check, because basically me one me do me check. And remember one time when me smoke with this fellow smoke friend, and he just me explain to me the experience with smoking, with like how smoking, like okay, smoking bring you to a next kind of phase where he had his friend that used to sprinkle cocaine inside of the weed and give him tea and then just smoke me check, and you get you so high, you check, so high, and boy, he have to make me try him, man. So you check, so me just look panic like, have to make me try him? You crazy? You check me come from, that one some me just not really want to play with. You check me come from cocaine mixed with weed, me talk. But I say all I have to say that on gateway drug. You check, weed is a gateway drug. It can cause you to do more drugs because you know why? After a while, the highness from the weed, it can become stale to you. And you gonna want something more that knock you one punch, right? But guess what? You're gonna get addicted. You're gonna mess up yourself even more. You check? So I'm gonna wrap this video up now. Thank you guys for listening, taking the time and everything for really just like stick with me on this one. I write these things down because it's something that really happened in my life. You check? And me now say people that smoke weed have to listen to what me have to say. You check? Because it might not they happen to you. You might not they go through what me go through. You check? For me life. But ultimately, weed no good for you. You check? And you might feel like weed good for you, and because I have one pride. Pride, you need to put the pride aside. Remember from mommy there's always time, Kevin, you can't handle the weed. You can't handle the weed. And just because she said that, it kind of like I have so much pride built up. Like, what she talk about, partner? Me can hang for myself, tell and smoke weed, but you can't tell me that me can't do that. But at the same time, me destroy myself. It's like me come from. I'm gonna be honest, and pride is the devil. You're real something. You check, so you have to be careful with the pride vibes and all. Once you see the subconscious will let you know, king, you need to tap your cut on destruction. You do what you have to do. You check, you do what you have to do and make a move. But yeah, day 15 for me. So much has happened so far because I make the effort, I make the step. You know what I mean? As an example, I just gonna let you know. As an example, you know, because I make the effort for go back to my old job, my farmer job, and really just apologize for the mistakes that I made. I get a next chance. I get a next chance. So I get work back at Nelson's Dockyard and get for do tour guiding once more. You know what I mean? I'm really thrilled and happy for that because it's something that I'm really good at in terms of, and I have the training, and I can be able to train other young people that want to do these kind of things for propel their lives. We can be able to be that position, you know, and leader. So you check, so that's like, you know, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful to my bosses down there, supervisors down there, you know, archaeologists, you know, all these type of people that listen and really understand where I come from. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be more thankful and more appreciative for understanding that we make mistakes, but it's not to make the same mistake again. What are you going to do to not make the same mistake again? You know what I mean? As I told you guys, I need therapy, and at the same time, I'm just trying my best to stick with God because God do so much for me that I can't turn my back on God. You know what I mean? And maybe somebody will get inspiration from this video because this video deeper than the other two video and then that I made. You check where I come from. So just want to stay positive, and make the effort for change our life. I can do it. You know? This is Kevin Chambers. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Anything your mind tell you to do, you do. There's a reason. This is a reason, right? So, thank you so much. And, you know, guys, have a blessed day. Peace.